Hello my friends, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a review of a very generous gift from Supersonic Studios. Yeah, this was quite a surprise. He didn't even tell me he sent this until I got an email saying, "Hey Wake Angel, I sent you a gift and it appears to have arrived. Check your mail." And then my mother's like, "Oh hey, this thing arrived in the mail for you." And when I opened it up, it was a Mephiles figure. Now, if you look, you see the package is a little bit ragged. That's because this is his figure. When he found out I was having a hard time finding it, he actually sent me his personal one. I hope he can get a replacement for it because I haven't even really taken it out of the packaging yet, and it looks so awesome. So he sent me the packaging because he knew that we would need to be reading the back where we can see the other characters in the wave. By the way, this is actually the perfect time for a Shadow re-release because Mephiles is sort of Shadow's archenemy from Sonic 2006. I was wondering what they would actually say up in his character bio, and it's Mephiles is the darker half of the fire deity Solaris and an enemy to humanity's future. Okay, I guess that's one way to put it, but is calling Solaris a fire deity sufficient? I mean, I know he manifested as a flame, but when I think of the fire deity, I think of Iblis, you know, the giant monster made out of fire. And then, like, Mephiles was the deity of darkness, yes, like, he's the darker half. And when they combined together, like Iblis was the power, Mephiles was the mind. When they combined, they formed Solaris. And I always kind of thought of Solaris as a sun deity, you know? Like, it's right there in the name, solar. Like, he's an evil sun god. I don't know. Now, I did play Sonic 2006 back in the day. Like, I got a copy of the game. I believe I bought it used when Blockbuster was going out of business. I played it on my uncle's Xbox 360 because I didn't have the system of my own. And I fought that game tooth and claw to get through the entire thing and beat it. Just so I could experience its story. Which I will insist to this day is a story that I liked. It was a good game in that regard, but oh man, was that a rough game to play. Like, it was just, like, I feel like there were certain aspects of it that, it wasn't just that they were glitchy, but there were gameplay aspects that needed to be polished. Like, there were auto-running stages where, like, the jumping and steering controls were completely broken. And, like, we know that Sonic can do auto-running. I mean, there was an auto-running game released pretty much this within a couple of months, Sonic and the Black Knight, which did auto-running much better. I mean, its flaw was that it used motion controls, but if you had the auto-running mechanic from Secret Rings and you had the button controls, then it would have been fine. But, you know, like, then you had, like, stages where, like, the physics were completely borked, attacks that were completely useless, attacks that broke game balance, Omega's hovering technique could actually be used to fly indefinitely if you tapped the button instead of just holding it. And, like, you know, you know what? I really would like to say, Sega, if you're planning on doing any more remakes or remasters of older games, I would say give 2006 another shot. But oh my god, like, storyline-wise, it was fine. Graphics-wise, it was fine. But you need to completely rebuild the gameplay engine of that game from the ground up. Like, if it had something similar to Sonic Heroes or even Sonic Unleashed, it would be fine. But, oh my god, the gameplay for that game was completely broken. Anyway, this isn't a review of the Sonic 2006 video game. This is a review of Mephiles the figure. So let's get him out of this packaging and see just how cool this guy actually is in the plastic flesh. Okay. Remember when I kept on insisting that I was able to make a better Infinite than the official toy companies could, and I was always challenging them? This is another character that I've made as a figure a whole bunch of times, and I gotta admit, they got me beat. I cannot make a Mephiles figure that's as good as this one. Because, wow, they really went all out on this thing. Let's zoom in so we can get a look at that choice sculpt. Look at that! Like all the cracks and pits, it's all in the detailing. This thing actually looks like a character that's hewn from recently cooled lava. Like, this is the effect that I always tried to capture with the scratchy paintwork that I gave it, but like, to actually have it be part of the sculpt, it is immaculate. It's beautiful. And it's only enhanced by this amazing airbrushing that they've given him. Like, I think the only place where there's actual solid paintwork is where it should be, on his muzzle and his eyes. The only parts of, well, and his chest fur. The only parts of him that were actually solid and organic looking. If, you know, even though there, you could still see the rocky cracks on his eyes. But, like, they use this... I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but they use a very bright fuchsia shade of pink for those eyes, and it really makes them pop, especially with those yellow, those greenish yellow eyes. And if you look, there's no shine spot. I'll talk about you know how like you always put a little white dot in the eyes to make them look like they're reflecting light, and that gives them a little bit more life. Well, despite how bright and vibrant the color is, you don't see that in his eyes. Nothing is reflected in those eyes. You only see the raw malice that radiates out from them. I cannot go on enough about how amazing this figure looks, both in terms of sculpt and paint. Oh, Jakks Pacific absolutely outdid themselves for this $10 price point figure. Well, you know, I guess $10.29 price points if you get it at Target. Yeah, like there's been a small increase, but it's still less than $11, and that's super impressive. Articulation, the head is on a swivel, although there is enough leeway that it does get a little bit of tilt in there, so it's kind of a ball joint, like, so that's kind of cool. Universal shoulders, and there was some speculation that this figure would have elbow joints, and not really. What you're seeing is the ball joint of his wrist that all the other figures have. It's just that because of the extensions of his glove, like the rocky elbow that he has, it actually kind of functions as a pseudo elbow joint because of the, you know, just because of the way it's sculpted and the way it looks. Both of his hands are sculpted in a way that it's a holding thing hand, but like he should have had a scepter of darkness that you could have put in there. But like they also make decent gesticulating hands. Like you can have him like doing a beckoning gesture or whatever. He has universal hips that get full range, forward and backwards. Knees with a knee swivel and an ankle rocker. It's in there. His ankles do move. The one thing that's inaccurate about his sculpt are his feet. They gave him a toe and a bit of a heel back there. As you all know, like this shape, like you see me do the 3D print of the actual in-game model, so you know that this shape here is accurate. But they actually made the feet underneath there so that he has a wide standing base. And it works because this figure is a very stable stander. He actually stands better than Shadow does. So, you know, it's good. It's worth sacrificing the accuracy of the sculpt to have a figure that can actually stand and display. Speaking of stand and display, this guy's accessory is the the purple fire that would always seem to surround his feet when he moved around in the game. As far as I'm aware, this is the first time a character actually comes with a figure stand. So I believe, let's see, you would put the feet in this way, they peg in, and oh yeah, there you go. Now you have Mephiles looking a bit more game accurate with his feet just kind of, instead of walking on feet, his legs just kind of end in this purple flame. Like, that looks so cool. Yeah, there isn't a single thing about this that I don't like. I guess it's worth giving up a Scepter of Darkness accessory if you have this. That is just, oh, that is so cool. Although, the Shadow figure, which was a re-release here, this would have been the perfect opportunity to put the Scepter of Darkness as his accessory instead of reusing that stupid spring again. But, you know, they just didn't seem to see the opportunity to profit, because I didn't buy the Shadow re-release, but if it came with that Scepter of Darkness, I totally would have. Okay, speaking of Shadow, let's bring out my Shadow here so we can see some comparison. He's a little bit shorter when he's standing in the base. Like, oh, that actually looks really cool just like that. I should display him that way. But yes, the characters are meant to be a reflection of each other, so they are pretty much exactly the same height. We could totally have Jack Pacific could totally have gotten away with just doing a re-release of Shadow, but painting his red lines like that sickly gray color, and they might have had to make a new chest piece to do the chest fluff in the proper shape, although I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't have noticed. Also, Mephiles wasn't supposed to have a visible mouth, so they might have had to recast his muzzle to get rid of the mouth, but yeah, like, I could totally see them doing a first form Mephiles before he transforms, but I am so happy we got the full demon form. Like, that is really freaking epic. And especially for a character that, like, he's kind of been buried in the franchise. Like, yes, they did a Crisis City level in Sonic Generations, but even that was like, oh man, that was 2011. That was 13 years ago almost. Oh man, I'm so old. Although he was recently added as a playable character in Sonic Forces Speed Battle, so I guess he is still in the minds of fans today, so there's that at least. But oh man, this figure goes way harder than it ever had to. It's one of the best in terms of raw sculpt, and the paint job is fan-freaking-tastic. It's amazing. So yeah, Supersonic Studios, you are so awesome for sending this to me, and I will be eternally grateful. That is just, like, really awesome. Like, I am so grateful to all of my fans who watch my videos and comment and everything, but to know that there's people out there that watch me, that care enough about me to do something like this for me, like, wow. You guys are just great. Like, especially you, Supersonic Studios. Give yourself a hand. Alright, so thank you all for watching this video, and this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.